conclude my thoughts here. God, Gabriel was thirsty. I didn't even realize how thirsty he was until I was reading that one back. He was just like, yeah, so he was just like, there's a word for it. There's an Australianism for it. It's like pussy whipped, but it starts with the C, the C word, but then struck. And that's the term that I would put that. It's very, I don't know if it's demeaning or derogatory, or who it's derogatory to, but it's the term for when a guy is like super duper into a girl. And Gabriel was absolutely into Ariana from the get-go. And they're really cute together. I really love this book. I guess, oh my God, nothing is stopping me from talking more about it. Oh, I can talk about this forever. So I started writing this book. This is actually Gabriel's album, which is the companion book to the album, which was a book that I started writing for NaNoWriMo in 2011. I wrote precisely like 50,700 and something words or 400 and something words, and then didn't write another thing for 7 years. And my friend Becky sent me a message on Twitter one day and was like, hey, I was just going through my emails and I came across this book, the album, and I really want to know when you're going to finish it so that I can read the end. And so I finished it, and then I still did nothing for it. And then I finally published it. I got an editor to look at it in 2019. I finally published it on the 14th of March, which is Gabriel's birthday, in 2020. Then from there, when I kind of decided to publish on Gabriel's birthday, I said to a friend of mine, I was like, do you think I could publish all the books on the band member's birthday? Do you think I could do that? And I was like, I mean, means I've got to get this next book out in 3 months after waiting, it's like 9 years to publish, or like 8 years, almost, 8 and a bit years to publish the first one. I was like, do you think I can get this next one done in 3 months? I wrote the wedding in 5 weeks to the day. And that was, I loved that. But I actually rewrote the album based on reviews that I got on it. Initially, it was told in a very different way with flashbacks, and it was a bit confusing. I really loved it as a plot device, but it was a bit confusing, and also my biggest concern was that it did not fit in the series. So none of the other books in the series had this plot device of telling things in flashback format. So I cut the flashbacks and tell everything in present day tense now. And then I rewrote it again after I met my amazing friend Beata, who was a reader who got the wedding advertised to her by Amazon. And then she bought the wedding and the album, and she read the album, and she was just like this close to DNFing. She finally got to the part of the book where it gets like really, really good, and then she read the wedding, and then she stalked me on all of my social medias, and I sent her an arc of the baby, and now she hangs out in Google Docs with me and edits my books as I write. She's the best. She helped me to rewrite the album. So I think Ariana is the heroine of the 4 heroines that is the most like me. She is very much me at that age, and she has all of my neuroses and all of my terrible behaviors and all of the way that I acted at that age. And I like to think that she does get better, because I like to think that I also got better. But I definitely was a complete train wreck, mental health in the toilet kind of thing. And Ariana is the hero most like me, and I think we worked out when I was rewriting the album that the reason I struggled so hard to display Ariana's emotions was kind of twofold. One is because it's just really hard to put your own emotions on display for other people to judge, and 2 is that to get into Ariana's head when she was in that bad place meant that I really needed to dig deep and get into my bad place and kind of really do some reflection on how that all felt and how it was displayed. And then now, of course, when people write reviews and say that Ariana's really annoying, my brain says, hey, she's basically you. If people think she's annoying, people think you're annoying. And then I remind myself that reviews aren't for authors. They're for other readers. And also, just, it's not their fault that they don't like the character Ariana and they don't know me as a person, so it's fine. Anyway, so I guess that's all I have to say about this. Chapter 1. See if I can sum this chapter up. Things that I loved about this. Okay, so companion series discussion. Obviously, other authors have done this. This is not a new concept. When I released The Wedding, people wanted Harrison's point of view. I write in a single point of view. I've written a whole blog. I'll link it down below. Why I write in a single point of view. It's a big thing for me. I just prefer it. I prefer reading it. I prefer writing it. But I also don't want to miss a single second in the other person's head. When I published The Wedding, there was this like kind of really in-depth discussions about Harrison, what he thought about some things, what he knew about some things. I'm just trying to talk around it. And so through that discussion, I ended up writing probably the most emotional chapter in the book from his point of view, and that was when kind of the idea of the companion series was born. So I would rewrite the books from the hero's perspective, and that's, I'm reading Gabriel's album, which is the first book in Cruise Control. I can't talk. Is the first book in Cruise Control Heroes, and the main series is Cruise Control. I call them the main series and the companion series. It's the heroine series, the hero series, they're all interchangeable. Trying to think of anything else that I want to say because I feel like there was something else that was general. Oh yeah, so something that I really loved about writing the companion series is getting to see just the other side of it. So two different people are going to see things differently, like where one person thinks the person's smirking, the other person just thinks they're giving a reassuring smile. It's just how things come across in the different ways that they're done. I also decided to do the companion series in first person present, where the heroine series is in third person past, just to make it different. So it wasn't just basically the same book and just change a few things, which I didn't want to do that myself. So I switched it to first person. I think also because I feel like, I don't know, I really like the first person present tense for romance. I know that it's very hard to show not tell, which is one of my weaknesses. But things that I really loved about this was seeing Gabriel's reaction after that initial interaction, which was a really poor interaction, and just like the way that I just love whenever the guys are together, and they're just amazing. And just seeing them interacting with each other. I love Hayden. When I was writing The Wedding, I said to my friend Dana, and was like, I don't know if I even like Hayden, because I just didn't know him. Because the thing about writing from a single point of view is that okay, I guess this is just me. I only didn't get to spend any time with him because Ariana didn't spend a huge amount of time with him. Heather was just a lot closer to Sebastian than Hayden. So I didn't get to spend time with Hayden. And when I did, I fell in love. He is actually the hottest and nobody knew. Now that I'm writing The Stalker, I know this. Yeah, so once I finally got to spend time with him, he was amazing. And I just like, he's like, okay, there's a lot to unpack here. You are aware that you're drunk too, right? Like, just like drunk Gabriel comes up to him and he's just like, oh, it's always awful being the only sober one. Yeah, so the other thing I really loved was the bit in the pool. Like, I just thought that was really, like, I don't know. They were just, it was really cute, and I loved the idea of them just going swimming with their clothes. Just like that's not your invitation to say let's go nude. I don't know if I'll ever feel about other characters the way that I feel about the Cruise Control series. Like, these characters, those 7 years between NaNoWriMo ending and me picking it up again. There's a scene at the end of the album, / Gabriel's album, / the sneak peek for The Wedding, actually, where I would run through that when I needed to go to sleep. So I would run through that. I have hair in my lip. I would run through that like it was a movie in my head. Like, to get to sleep, I would run through this part of the book. It's right near the end, so I cannot give any spoilers away. And I would, like, that was I would be there with the characters, and that would be how I would get myself to sleep. I would just play this out in my head. That was my reward for finishing the book, like, up to that point, was that I finally got to write this scene. And then when I finally wrote it, done in a snap. It was all done so quickly, so done and over. So that was when, and as I was nearing the end of the album, that's when I started to think about, oh my God, like, can I get in Heather's head? And I really wanted that scene, so I revisited it from Heather's point of view, which is how the idea of the sneak peeks came up. So each book has a sneak peek at the end of it there's 2 sneak peeks at the end of each book. One is for the next book in the series, and the other one is for the companion book. So that was how the sneak peek came. And that sneak peek is only in that either the companion book or the previous book in the series. There is no where else that it gets published. That's it. So I like having special content. I didn't want the sneak peek to be just a chapter of the book, because I'm like, as a reader, I hate that. No, so I don't want to do that for my readers. Other thing was, like, really came about because I really wanted to visit that scene, get into Heather's head and Heather's point of view during that particular scene. And so I did that. I just love the sneak peeks. Like, sometimes it's been really obvious to me what it is. Like, Lita's was always going to be her winning the competition to meet the guys, and it's just a scene from that character's perspective that doesn't fit in the book, but kind of sets the scene for the book. Gabriel's is the only one that kind of happens mid-book. So yeah, like, and when I finished the album, I didn't even know if I could write another book. I'd finally finished this book, and I was like, can I even do that again? Like, I don't know if I can do that again. So that was when I sat down and plotted out the dates of everything happening, and that's really helped me. So, like, when I go to do a chapter, I'll look at the outline that I've done. So I plotted all the dates, and that was when I realized that the wedding was going to start right before Harrison's 30th birthday. So I was like, well, now I know what I'm doing. And then it turned out the wedding was the easiest to write. Like, that story just flowed. Near the end of that book, I was writing 7,500 words a day. It was meant to be, like, I was aiming, so the album, when I first wrote it, was 86,000 words, I think. When I rewrote it, was 96,000 words. Now it's like 94,000 words maybe. And then after the rewrite, it's 104 or 106 or something. So I was aiming for, like, between 80 and 90,000 words with the wedding, maybe 100, and it ended up at 124. The baby, I got all up in my head. So the baby tells the story of a pregnancy, obviously. And, like, I'm at, like, 100,000 words, and I'm, like, 19 weeks into a pregnancy. I really started to panic. So I posted in some author groups, and I'm like, hey, how long is too long for a romance? I'm just asking for a friend. People are like, oh, no, more than 100,000 words is way too much. It's way too much. So I freak out, and I keep going, and finally I finish at 13 weeks to the day, and it finishes at like 164,000 words. And I send it to the alpha readers, and the first one comes back and is like, it was great. It was interesting, but I just kept waiting for something to happen. And I was like, oh, okay. Second person comes back, same thing. Final third person comes back and says, yeah, like, it was good. It was like, it was enjoyable, but it's like, it just kept waiting for something to happen. And that third person is not a romance reader traditionally. And I was like, this is a problem with my book. So I broke my book. There was a point at the book where it could have gone in one of two ways, and I was so traumatized by writing the wedding that I just went the easy path, where Sebastian and Lita were just happy. I mean, there was stuff happened, but they were like rock solid. But there was that point I knew I could have gone another way, and so after I sulked for a week, I took it in that other direction, and the end result was a book that was 174,000 words, but so much better than what I had been, what I'd done before. It was just a much, much better book. And I was really happy with how that one turned out. It's definitely, I feel like each book is better than the one before, but the album still has its place in the series. Like, it has a place where it sets the scene and it's still a story. Just feel like the books are meatier, although, like, it's really the baby is the, that's why it's so long. Looks like The Stalk is probably going to come out about 135,000 words, maybe less, maybe more. Who knows? I've got about 7 chapters left to write. So, all in all, I'm glad that you guys are here with me for this. Whoever's watching this and has gotten this far, thank you. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends. Share this with people. I love these books. I love them so much. That's why I'm writing them. I guess you write the books that you would always love. I don't know. This is a passion project for me. I just love them and I just want more people to read them and to know about them. So that's why I guess I'm doing this low-key audiobook, terrible quality, definitely not claiming to be a narrator at all. So please share this with your friends, and hopefully if you're interested in coming along and hearing me read a book over 220 TikToks, I think it's worked out. It's going to be a lot. I don't know how many it's going to be ultimately. A lot of TikToks and a lot of weeks. I'm thinking if I do a chapter a week, maybe I'll do that. I'll do a chapter a week. How many chapters are in this book, my friend? Okay, so if I do a chapter a week, there is 25 chapters. So 25 weeks? Can you stick with me for 6 months to find out what happens in this book? If you don't, I'll link the book down below and you can read it and not have me reading it out loud. I'm not even gonna lie, I am dreading the sex scenes. I'm dreading them. They won't be on TikTok. I'll be cutting them out of TikTok and the full unedited stuff will be here on YouTube. So, yay. Let's do this. Be a part of this, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Comment down below. Tell me things. Please posit theories. There's a stalker in book 4. I really would love for people to try and tell me who the stalker is, because so far nobody's guessed it. Just saying. And that comes out in October, and I can't wait for people to find out how it all ties together and how it all ends up, and I'm probably giving away hints, so I should shut up now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please like, please subscribe, please share this video, please tell your friends, and please comment down below and tell me things. Tell me what annoying things I did. No, don't do that. I am not mentally healthy enough for you to tell me what annoying things I did, okay? Just, I know, if I'm gonna do this YouTube thing, I have to be prepared for the inevitable negative comments that are gonna come my way, so suck it up, buttercup.